This one is called The Harem of the Court of King Caractacus. And it's about an old pre-Roman king in England who actually did exist. Caractacus was a real king. And the English captured him, and instead of executing him like they did with prisoners, they brought him back to Rome and they gave him a harem. How can that be a punishment, I hear you ask? Mothers-in-law. So how we're going to do this, I'm going to give you all the third line of each verse, which is the same as the first, second and fourth lines. It's just that the first, second and fourth lines change with each verse, that's all. It's not as hard as it sounds. So, ready? Oh, roll the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley. Oh, rare bog and a rattling bog and the bog down in the valley. Oh, what's the wrong song? That's the rattling bog. Why didn't you tell me? Now, thank you. Better late than never. Now, Harem of the Court of King Caractacus. How about if I do the rattling bog after this one? 2 tongue twisters in a row. My tongue is going to be a mess. Gonna have to go back for some of that hot salsa over there. Oh. Now the harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. The harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. The harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. That's your line, that's the third line. The harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. Okay, we'll do it again, and you can do your line. I'll nod my head, you sing your line. I was going to say, I'll nod my head, and you hit it, but that's not going to work. Now the harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. The harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. The harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. The harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. Now the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The ladies in the The ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. Now the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. Now the noses on the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The noses on the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The noses on the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. Now the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. Now the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. The powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. The powder on the freckles on the faces of the ladies in the Too soon! The powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus was just passing by. Now the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. The boys who put the powder on the freckles, noses, faces, ladies, harem, court, were. The boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. Now the the breeches on the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. The breeches on the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. The breeches on the boys, freckles, noses, faces, ladies, harem, court of Caractacus. We're just. The breeches on the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. Now the stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. The stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. The stitches in the The stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. Now the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. The fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. The fascinating witches who put the scintillating... Stop. It's the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. 11 items. I can't make it any easier for you. We're just passing by. Now the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. The fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. The fascinating witches who put the... We're just passing by. You're never gonna get it. The fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus. We're just passing by. If you want to take a picture of the fascinating witches who put the scintillating stitches in the breeches of the boys who put the powder on the freckles on the noses of the faces of the ladies in the harem of the court of King Caractacus, you're too